Hey, it's John at Tinderbox Arts. I just finished a 6,200-mile ride across the United States, and I'm doing some maintenance here. What you're looking at here, of course, is the final drive. And when I'm changing the oil in the final drive, I usually make it a point just to grease the splines, which we've talked about many times. It only takes a few more minutes to undo one bolt and get this done. So I do that. And this, after 6,200 miles, yeah, it does look a little bit dry. So it is time to do that. But there's one thing that I haven't stressed before, which I think I should, which is this rubber boot. This rubber boot is really the key to keeping water out of that area, and I think it's often overlooked. So the reason we grease up these splines here is because there is movement of the final drive, even if it's just vibration. And we don't want rust building up in there, and we want a little bit of lubrication. However, ideally, we'll just keep the water out completely. And that's the point of this rubber boot, is to keep that water out. However, it's not just the rubber that keeps the water out. BMW itself recommends using a lithium grease around the edges here generously, and that helps seal this side and this side as well. Now, this rubber boot actually has three parts. There's the rubber itself, and then there's a plastic ring here and a plastic ring here. I've taken this one out just to show you, and that helps snap this into place so that when you slide this home, those plastic clips should, snap into this area here. There's actually a little ring recess in this area here. Now, for the splines, I usually use a moly-based combination of this grease here and this Honda assembly paste. This is too dry alone, but if I mix them together, it's okay. But that's for the splines. For the rubber area here, up until now, I've been using the lithium-based grease, which is recommended by BMW, but I'm changing that now. I've decided to switch to this, which is a really excellent grease I use in a lot of different areas. Often I'll use this for the axle in the front, and it's a green-looking grease. See if I can get some light on that there. I've gone through a lot of it already, and this really works well because it's waterproof in the sense that it stays put. So if you smear this around the edge, it's not going to go anywhere, and water will not wash it away. So I've really loaded up the outside here. It's too much, and when I put it all together, some will squeeze out. At that point, I can just use a rag to clear the squeeze out, and that should be very well sealed. All right, so put back together, that's exactly what I want to see, that squeeze out, and I can just wipe that off. But I don't want to wipe off between the rubber and the metal there. I just want to leave that because that's what seals it. So we'll get this cleaned up and then you're ready to go. So don't overlook this part because I think a lot of people do, and they just slam the rubber back in place without really thinking about it. But that grease is really what seals that rubber.